So, y'all want to hear a fucked up story time? Here we go. It's about how me and my friends got held up at gunpoint at this party and got stripped naked because one of the strippers that they had at the party lost their iPod. So definitely this was back like in I'm gonna say 2008 and 2009 because I still was dealing with my high school crush and it was still with my high school friends and shit. And I'm only talking about this because I've seen some pictures on, yeah, I'm still on Facebook, but some of my old friends and shit, they were just posting some pictures about how they had this cookout and shit, and a lot of them was there and around, and it triggered a memory. So like I said, this was back in like 2008 or whatever, and what I recall was it was my homeboy, one of my band members, my brothers, one of his friends party and shit, and he invited me, two of my old best friends, one of my other homeboys, and at the time, my ex-boyfriend, my high school sweetheart and shit. And mind you, it was a party basically from my friends and shit. So I had convinced my ex-boyfriend, no, you can't go. These is my homies. I want to hang out with them by myself. And no, you can't come. So he didn't go, but it was thank God that he didn't go with us. So bam, told you two, me and my female best friends and my other homeboy and shit. We rolled out. No, three. It was four of us at the time. Me and Nikki and Kevin. Yeah, boom. Yeah, it was four of us that showed up to the party and shit. Imagine when we first got there, it was lit as shit. Like, we got there, we seen our homeboy and shit who partner my brother. He met us at the door and shit. We came upstairs and his friend was cool as shit. Like, literally, as soon as we walked in the door, we were offered every type of drug you could think of. It was liquor in the refrigerator. They like, yeah, take what you want, start turning up and shit. I'ma say I'm gonna say it was about already about like 20 people in this little ass apartment party and shit, and it was just now getting started. And I think they had like a couple of little stripper bitches who was like came in there to perform. Everything was lit, like I said, drugs galore, weed, pills, liquor, everything you can fucking think of, bruh. I think we had gotten to like maybe the second performances of the little stripper drinks who was there, whatever. So, they did their little drink in the middle of the floor. We throwing ones and shit. Everything is litty gang. Next thing you know, Shorty get the finished performance, step off and shit. And I'm gonna say maybe like 10 minutes later, homeboy who apartment it was get to coming in the front room saying that the iPod he had, this one iPods, little mini drinks. He was like the iPod he had charging in the bathroom on the little iPod home was missing. So we like a fucking iPod. I'm like, who the fuck wants a fucking iPod? Mind you though, everybody in that drink lit, and next thing you know, he really got upset about this iPod and got the flipping the fuck out and like started cursing everybody out. We like, bro, you literally done had two groups of strippers that already done came to this joint in and out your bathroom where they were fucking changing it. And if anybody stole something from inside of this house, why would you think that they still would be in here cooling if they actually stole something? Anyways, like luncheon, nigga really wanted his iPod back. He like stepped in the front room, was like, so nobody's gonna tell me what happened to my motherfucking iPod? And I don't know nothing much about pum pums, but it was a big ass pum pum. And he pulled that motherfucker drink out and like cocked it back and was like, nobody leaving out of here until my motherfucking iPod get shows up. Me and my homies and shit, we like, oh nah, that's our cue. We about to get the fuck out of here, like young and tripping and shit. So we started trying to exit to the fucking door. Homeboy comes up with the fucking pew pew and blocks the door and like, nah, ain't nobody leaving until I fucking find my motherfucking iPod. Everybody stand in this motherfucking circle right here. And all of us drunk as shit, party, music, everything off, and he like literally made us line up, y'all, in a fucking circle. In a fucking circle while his wild ass is in the middle of the fucking circle with this pew pew. Next thing you know, he started going around. He started with the strippers, y'all, and he pointed to the drinks and like literally started making everybody empty out their purses and take off all their shit. I'm like, bro, first of all, where the fuck would we stick a iPod at? Like, why would we like? Shit got real when he went to my homeboy and shit, and he made him empty out his pockets and shit, and he was like, nah, take off all your shit. And mind you, this was my homeboy, but also the brother of the brother that we went there who party, who friend it was and shit. And this bitch ass nigga stepped off and went to the kitchen because he ain't checked none of his mans. He made all his mans, the guy who party was, he made all his mans go step into the kitchen and shit. And what blew me about the whole situation, like I said, I consider this nigga a brother. We was in the fucking band together. Like, we was in the drum section together. And this was supposed to be our brother. And the look that he gave us, like, you don't know what to do and you just step off. And we some fucking females that you invited in this bitch and you was just going to be okay with this shit happening. Scared ass nigga, yang. But, yeah, so homeboy had to strip and shit. And it's getting closer and closer to me and my friends, me and the three girls that I came with. And one of my homegirls, she just like the rowdy one with us. And she wasn't going for it and she wasn't going to do it. It wasn't until my stud best friend, you know, he got to my stud best friend and like to see her like look at us and just start taking her shit off. He was like, oh nah, like we just started taking our shit off with her and like, nah, my man ain't about to go like that. And we all just literally had I'm talking about bras, shirts, pants down. And the crazy thing is, my homegirl was on her motherfucking period and he still like made her young. That shit was wild as fuck. Mind you, after all that and shit, you know what I'm saying, still no motherfucking iPod show the fuck up. But like after all that, like I don't even remember. I just remember just grabbing our shit, pants, shoes and all that shit, and we started crying and ran to the door like when he finally let us go. The wild shit is, by the time we got to the elevator and like crying and like panicking and shit, the nigga who invited us, our brother, get to calling our motherfucking phone and hurry up and meet us downstairs. And they had the audacity to invite us back up there. Talking about, oh, he was just tripping, that's my man, you know what I'm saying? Laughing like that shit was normal and funny to them. Imagine, we are fucking traumatized. And I just couldn't even believe what happened. And then our wild asses, we didn't even call like the police. We calling everybody in our fucking phone log to tell them what just happened and they need to pull up. But none of us thought to like to call the police and literally shut that whole motherfucking party down, because I should have done that. I don't know why we didn't call the police. Wild, young, wild, and fucking free, I guess. But after all that said and done and shit, like, I disassociated with that nigga and like, nah, matter of fact, like, no, I don't even fuck with you, cuz the weird shit, like my other homies and shit, they still fuck with son after that. And nah, you got one time to show me you a bitch ass nigga, and that was the fuck it. But looking back at that now, that shit was like one of the crazy experiences that I've ever went through in my life. And seeing them niggas still on my motherfucking Facebook and shit, like, that's crazy.